Let's start the next topic. The next topic is internal structure of leaf. Before going to mechanism of photosynthesis, we must have clear idea about the types of leaf also, because leaf is the organ of the plant where usually the photosynthesis occurs. So we must have a clear idea about the leaf, particularly the internal structure about which we will be discussing here. But before going to the internal structure of the leaf, first we have to understand the types of leaf. There are mainly two types of leaf: isobilateral leaf and dorsiventral leaf. Isobilateral leaf, see how they have been classified. You might have seen the leaf of maize, leaf of rice, they are mostly erect. Leaf of grasses, they are mostly erect. And as they are erect, both of their surfaces are exposed to sunlight. So such type of leaf whose both the surfaces are exposed to sunlight, they are usually called isobilateral leaf. And dorsiventral leaf, in case of dorsiventral leaf, only one surface remains exposed to the sunlight. The best example is the leaf of China rose. Okay, the surface which remains exposed to the sunlight, that surface is called dorsal surface, and the surface which remains hidden is called the ventral surface. So that's why I have included here both the surfaces are exposed to the sunlight and only one surface remains exposed to the sunlight. The second point of difference is that you might have learned in junior classes about the venation. Venation means the arrangement of veins in the leaf, like banana leaf, rice leaf, grass leaf. They also parallel venation in which the veins run parallel to each other. And in case of dorsiventral leaf, they form the net-like structure. The veins form the net-like structure. Such type of venation is called reticulate venation. So they show reticulate venation. And the next point of difference is that isobilateral leaf are mostly found in monopod leaves, monopod plants. Monopod plant means the plant with a single cotyledon. Their seed consists of single cotyledon. Then again, in case of dorsiventral leaf is mostly seen in dicot leaf, like China rose and all. Then the next difference which we can mention here is about the mesophyll tissue. Mesophyll tissue, about which I'll tell you later what exactly the mesophyll tissue. Okay, let's see this figure. Mesophyll tissue, this is the upper epidermis, this is the lower epidermis. The tissue which is present between the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis is called the mesophyll tissue. So we can mention here that mesophyll tissue, in case of isobilateral leaf, is undifferentiated. They are not modified into other structures. But in case of dorsiventral leaf, mesophyll tissues are modified or are differentiated. Into two different types of cells, as you can see in the figure, also pellucid parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Okay, so these differences you can mention whenever the difference between the isobilateral leaf and dorsiventral leaf is asked. Now let us come to the internal structure of the leaf. Now see here, the TS of dorsiventral leaf has been shown. TS of dorsiventral leaf, transverse section. Transverse section means when the leaf is cut horizontally, then we get the transverse section. Transverse section of dorsiventral leaf. Mostly the dorsiventral leaf we have to learn in class 3. Now see, the internal structure of leaf shows how many different structures. See, the upper one, the upper single layer, okay, which is compactly packed without any intercellular spaces, is called upper epidermis. And then the lower epidermis. Epidermis means it is the single layer which covers the outer parts of the leaf. The lower epidermis is again compactly packed. Okay, is usually with the stomata. In dorsiventral leaf, in the upper epidermis, we do not find stomata either remains absent or present in fewer number. But here, in lower epidermis, as compared to upper epidermis, the number of stomata are usually large in number. Then, as I told you before also regarding mesophyll tissues or cells, they are the tissues which are present between the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis. In case of dorsiventral leaf, these mesophyll tissues or the cells, they have been differentiated, modified into two different types of cells. The upper one is the palisade parenchyma and the lower one is the spongy parenchyma. Now here, one more difference you have to remember, that is how this palisade parenchyma is different from spongy parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma, and then spongy parenchyma. The difference you can be asked in the examination, so you must understand this topic also. Spongy parenchyma. Okay, you can see in the figure that palisade parenchyma, they are present close to the upper epidermis. So this point we can note down here, present close to the upper epidermis. And spongy parenchyma, they are present close to the lower epidermis. This is the first point of difference. Now second, you can compare their structures. As you can see in the figure, palisade parenchyma is column line, pillar line. Okay, so this one also you can mention. And again at the same time, they are compactly packed without any space in between them, that is intercellular space. So the same point we can mention here, palisade parenchyma is pillar line. Without intercellular space. And then spongy parenchyma, they are mostly oval or spherical, ball like, spherical with large intercellular spaces. Large intercellular space. Okay, these 2 points you can mention whenever the difference between palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma is asked. See, sometimes the space becomes so large that they form the cavity called the ear cavity. So ear cavity is also shown here. Okay, about the stomata we will be learning later on. Okay, so this is about the internal structure of leaf. Okay, so just now we have completed. Okay, we'll be starting